Welcome to Thriving Moms of Autistics podcast, a free resource for moms raising young autistic children. I am your host, Dr. Christina Wilson. I created Thriving Moms of Autistics after years of experience working with families and having my own autistic child. I coach moms of young autistics one-on-one to tap into their strengths, create a supportive community, set firm boundaries, and raise their autistic child with confidence. Subscribe to the podcast and check out the earlier episodes so you don't miss a thing. Now, let's get to it.
Hi, Mom. Are you feeling held back or like you're drowning in all of your stress? Well, what if I told you that you have the power within you to elicit change? Yes, you. Even with all the stressors and all the challenges as a mom of an autistic, you can still make things happen. In this episode, I explore what holds you back and what keeps you stuck in the continual cycle of stress. So find the full transcript for this episode at thrivingmomsofautistics.com/87. And share podcasts with other moms to help them grow in their autism journey. To further your reach, you can leave a podcast. On Apple Podcasts, you can leave a podcast review, and that will reach even more moms. And don't forget to subscribe to the Thriving Moms of Autistics YouTube channel. I appreciate you. So, talk about the number one thing holding you back. Okay? There are many, many barriers to thriving in your autism journey. A lot of things that can get you stuck. And one of the biggest ones is your thought. We call them cognitive distortion. And they're just great disruptors that every single human being has experienced at some point in their life. It is the human condition, literally. And thankfully, it doesn't have to be this way, or it doesn't have to stay this way. Now, unfortunately, autism moms tend to carry more stress and challenges, given our situation. But you can address these cognitive distortions and cultivate a growth mindset in the process. So here are some examples of cognitive distortion. One, and there's many, many, many different types, but I'm going to give you a few. One is an all or nothing thinking. So it's black and white type of thinking. So you see it one way or the other way, but there's no in between. Another is overgeneralizing. And you expect that one negative outcome is happening repeatedly. It's going to happen. Regardless of that's just the way it's always going to be negative. Catastrophizing, predicting or expecting the worst case scenario. So I don't even know why I bother because it's going to end up this way anyway, or it's never going to get better, right? Personalization. This one is hard because it's when you just blame yourself for events beyond your control. So does any of this sound familiar? I know, because I've been there too. And I'll tell you, I never, ever want to go back to that. There's no magic wand that is just going to make this go away. It takes a lot of work and a lot of practice. But you can do this. And you're not alone, especially in the thinking, because we've all been there. But you're also not alone in the process of changing that. So when you stay on the road of distorted thinking, your child learns this type of thinking as well, which escalates the struggles. And you don't want that. So distortions keep you from seeing the situation clearly. And not only that, but from finding solutions for these challenges that are going to occur. So, how do we embrace the number one solution to getting for when you get stuck in your head? How do you get unstuck? Carol Dweck studied this very thing for years and years, and she's at Stanford. She posits that our beliefs and our about our abilities and our intellect can be developed over a period of time with effort. Okay? That's right. We can learn and persevere. It is possible. This is really important because it helps us reduce our stress. It helps us improve problem-solving skills and increase our emotional intelligence. So in essence, we start believing that we can influence things for the better and creatively solve problems and bounce back a lot quicker. So sign me up for that, right? Sounds good. So how do moms achieve this and grow in their journey to thrive? Well, you can achieve a growth mindset when you practice. Practice, practice, practice. One thing, and I know I talk about this sometimes, is self-awareness. Ooh, that is really important. And this is hard to do when everything is hitting the fan and things are falling apart. You got meltdowns, you got this and that and everything all at once. It is important to explore what you were thinking about the situation at the time. Identify that. What am I thinking about this? And then ask yourself, is it true? Is what I'm thinking, is that real? Is that the truth? Also, challenging those negative thoughts. So when you ask if it's true or not, look for evidence. And not only that, what are the alternatives to what you're thinking? Okay. Next is being realistic. So are your goals realistic? If not, break them down into bite-sized pieces, into achievable goals. Now remember, when you have small wins along the way, celebrate them. That will do a world of good for you. Celebrate those small wins. And as being a mom of an autistic, there are many small wins. And it's just such a beautiful thing for us, right? To watch our children achieve, and us too. The next is grace. And I've talked about this before too. So show yourself some compassion and grace, because there's no manual here, right? And you're doing your best. And it's not easy. So the road is bumpy at times. And you know what? It always will be. It's never going to be perfect. So, but you can achieve some calm if you stay the course mentally. The next is learn, and this is a really, really, really big one for a growth mindset. So be open to learning and, for situations and recognizing that, okay, this happened, didn't go as I had planned, but I did learn something from it. And I can use this in the future. It's an opportunity, right? Now, I've not always had a growth mindset. My mom's anxiety flowed onto me. Um, she struggled. And, that was hard because I learned that behavior. And other people in my life, um, early on academically told me, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. They didn't really believe in my abilities. So if you hear that enough times, then you're not going to believe either, right? Now, but my mom, circling back to her, she was my biggest cheerleader. And I think she always encouraged me and saw things in me. So I think that was the thing that really helped me. And whenever I was in college, um, I noticed that I could achieve things. Maybe I'm not so bad at this and, I'm pretty good at this. And learn the power of a growth mindset and positive thinking, because I'm a positive psychologist and that's my area. And it got me through some really, really hard times. I'm thankful for those times, even though they were difficult, and how I was able to move from surviving to thriving. Of course, it was not overnight. It took time. And this is why I coined the term positive-centered life. And I share my formula for achieving this as a mom of an autistic child. And I believe in you. I support you. And let's thrive together. I hope this helps, and I look forward to our time next week.
Thanks for listening to Thriving Moms of Autistics podcast. Be sure to leave a review and tell other moms of autistics about the podcast. Let's support each other. Find the full transcript for this episode at thrivingmomsofautistics.com. And be assured, you are not alone in your journey.